Hey guys, it's Anu here from Lovell Soccer, and again we are in the Lovell Soccer boot room. Today we've got in the Nike latest pack, which is the FastAf. Now, as you can see, we've pretty got all the lines here. We've got the Tempo 7s here, we've got the Magista Obras here, the Hypervenom Phantoms, and the Superfly 360s. These being my favourite, just saying. Let me know which one you obviously like in the comments below. But what I'll do is just run through the colours on all of the boots pretty quickly. So you can see from the Tempo 7s, pretty much an all black boot. That old school classic look, because the Tempos are that kind of old school look. So it kind of makes sense for Nike to make them pretty much all black. You've then got the Nike swoosh here with the white outlining, which I like, a really nice touch from Nike, and that goes on the same here on the medial side or the instep side of the boot as well. And then obviously, as with all the rest of the boots, you've got like orange accents. So if I pull the, the lacing system there, you can see there's a orange accent there, and the lacing loops on the boots are pretty much all orange. You've got some orange lining going along the inner lining of the boot with a nice orange Nike swoosh. That's a nice little touch there that I didn't even realise. And then obviously the insole, which I can take out really quickly. There you've got Tempo in orange and Nike grip, which will allow for better grip with your socks when you're playing. So that's really important. But that's pretty much the colours there for the Tempo 7s. Running onto the Megistas really quickly. They are predominantly grey. You've got grey laces there, and then once again you've got orange accents along the back of the boot here, so from the kind of midfoot section of the boot into the heel area of the boot. Nike swoosh again, black with white outlining. This is probably my least favourite in terms of the colours personally, but yeah, still really nice in terms of the colourway once again. But that's the Magista Obras. Moving on to the Hypervenoms. These are all grey again, pretty much. Black Nike swoosh at the back here on the rear, and then on the toe box into the midfoot section, you've got another black Nike swoosh with white outlining. Now, I really like the finish on this because I don't know whether you can see, but it does have a kind of reflective finish, the Nike swoosh there, when lights actually shone on it. So, like that one. And then my personal favourite, guys, the Superfly 360s. As you can see, pretty much all black, but then what better way to make a black boot look even better? Adding orange accents and, in these Nike swooshes on the instep and on the toe box. So, and then obviously black there and an orange outer lining on the Mercurial branding at the back. So that's pretty much the colours that they've used on these boots. I'll say this is number one for me personally, then 2, then 3, then 4. But let me know, which one you actually prefer in terms of the colours that Nike have actually used. Quickly, tech spec wise, guys, you've obviously got the Tempo 7s, which I'm sure you guys, have seen before, the likes of PK wears them, and a few defenders. As you know, these are more old school. These are, getting stuck in them tackles. But kangaroo leather, it doesn't get better than this, to be honest, in the football market. Really soft, really flexible, and the more you play in them, the more they, you break into them, and they become more flexible and more soft, and that allows for a better touch when you make contact with the ball. As well as that, guys, you can also see it's still the traditional cut boot here in the heel area. You've also got an internal heel counter here at the back holding your foot in place, and as you saw earlier, the insole is made out of a single layer of foam. As well as that, on the upper, guys, you've got ACC, all condition control, so these will perform really well as they do, in dry weather, in wet weather, which is really important, and that can be seen there in the branding there. And just for those that don't know, you can only get ACC on the higher end of, the Nike brand or Nike football boots. So just a little note there for you guys. And then moving on to the sole plate, you've got a combination of conical and bladed studs. So you've got 2 bladed studs there, as you can see, and then the rest are conical studs, allowing for better rotation, bladed studs for better traction. And also the yellow ones, as you can see, are actually anti-clog, which will allow you to, reduce the amount of mud that's picked up by the boots when playing. Really important. That's why you see, you know, the players, you know, always lifting up their feet, trying to take the mud off. This will reduce that significantly. But that's the Tempo 7s really quickly. Moving on to the Magista Obras, guys. You've got a knitted upper going all the way around on the Magistas, and then a Nike skin covering holding it all together really nicely. And as you know, the Magista Obras have some nice kind of non-raised and raised texturing, allowing for better contact when you hit the ball. You've got a off-centered lacing system and a dynamic fit color, as you know, a knitted dynamic fit color, which should hold your ankle in place while you're playing football. Moving on to the Soleplate, guys. Once again, I've got the anti-clog versions of these. So this is predominantly for those of you that are going to be playing on soft ground. As well as that, you can actually purchase the firm ground versions of these from the Lovell Soccer website. The link to that will also be in the description below. But here in my hands, we've obviously got the soft ground. Once again, you've got bladed and conical studs, and it's pretty much the same stud pattern here as the Tempo 7s. So that's, you know, let me know which one so far you are preferring. Lastly, you've got, second to last, before we get into my favorite, I'm too excited, I want to talk about these. You've got the Hypervenoms. Once again, you've got the foam pods, as always, you know, with the Phantom Freeze. Foam pods which will allow for better contact and a more cushioned contact when making contact with the ball. Lastly, you've got fly wire, which holds your foot in place. So once you tighten up the laces, now the fly wire will lock your foot in place and reduce the amount of movement while you're actually playing, which is really important. You don't want your foot moving when playing football. The heel count at the back here will hold your foot in place and allow for your heel area not to move as well. As I said, it's really important when playing football that your foot isn't moving within the boot. So if you do purchase a pair of boots and your foot is moving within the boot, that's a no-no. Make sure you know your size before purchase. And then once again, guys, this is the anti-clog version. As I said, you can get a firm ground version of these boots, but with the anti-clog, it just reduces the amount of mud that the boot picks up when playing. Now, my favorite, guys, the Superflyers 360. These are just the best thing on the market for me personally. Reason being, you've obviously got the 3D texturing going along the upper here, and it's obviously a knitted upper with Nike skin covering once again, which allows for a really nice feel when you put the boot on, and it wraps around your foot immaculately. Like, I'm gonna take this out really quickly and just show you how soft the upper is really quickly. So you can see they're really flexible, and it does take to the shape of your foot. So once you've put them on, pretty much instantly, even in a game situation, they will mold to the shape of your foot and really lock your feet down really well, simply because it's a one-piece upper, same as the Tempos and pretty much all these boots now from Nike. You've got the one-piece upper which will lock your foot in place really nicely. The dynamic fit color is slightly smaller than what we saw from the previous generation in the Superfly 5s, but for me personally, I think it's a lot better, the dynamic fit color on the Superfly 60s, or as they're better known now, the Superfly 360. Moving on to the sole plate, guys, you've got the standard stud pattern and sole plate that we've seen from previous releases of the Superfly 360. The only difference is that this is a really nice kind of finish. It's kind of a matte finish to it, pinky, peachy color. I'm not too sure. I think that's the best way to describe it, and changes in color when it hits the light. So that's a really nice touch from Nike. And then in terms of the studs, they're kind of arrow shaped, which allows for better traction. And personally, these are probably the most aggressive stud pattern there is in the football boot market right now. So if you're looking to burn it down the wing, these are definitely an option for you. Now, these, the Megistas, the Hypervenoms, and the Superfly 360s are retailing for $230 on the Lovell Soccer website, whereas these, the Tempo 7s, are retailing for $190. Now, personally, these are my favorite. Let me know what you think, and then it'll probably be these, then the Megistas, then the Hypervenoms. So, guys, if you are a traditional boot wearer, old school, and prefer the low cut version of these boots, you can actually purchase them from the Lovell Soccer website. So the Megistas here are actually retailing for $190, whereas the Hypervenoms and the Vapor 12s or 360, as they're also known, are retailing for $210. They can also get ID, personalized ID. So I'm actually expecting my name to be printed on one of these. For some reason, they haven't been, but you can. But until next time, guys, thanks for watching. See you later.